Welcome back to the 90 More podcast. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. We are talking about VAR and reasons why I think VAR should be scrapped off the Premier League, but also football in general. Now, I do not disagree with inventions brought into football, goal line technology. I think that one is very, very magnificent. The introduction of extra referees at each post, that is also very, very inventive. But VAR, guys, is becoming a fucking disgrace. VAR is becoming a disaster. This weekend, almost every Premier League game was affected by VAR making a mistake. And this is where my problem is with the machine. There is a person, there is someone in the VAR room, in the TV room, that has a lot of time to decide on the action, to review the actions that have actually transpired on the pitch and make a correct decision. And time in, time out, time and again, they are making the wrong decision. Literally, that kills the reason as to why VAR is in football. Of course, we know it cannot be scrapped that easily because it has a lot of financial, strings attached to it. But it is fucking killing football. It doesn't make any sense. If you bring in VAR to correct the clear and obvious errors that are actually escaping the naked eye, the human eye, and VAR is making a disaster of those same clear and obvious errors, then there is no reason to have more time wasted on VAR. You don't have, because we take 2 minutes or 3 minutes per 90 trying to wait for VAR's decision, and only for them to get it right. They have more time. The referee has around 45 seconds to decide whether it's a foul, whether it's a goal, whether it's an offside, or whether the ball has had gone out of play. VAR have 2 minutes, 4 minutes. They could even take 10 minutes reviewing an incident, and they still get it wrong. Now, this weekend, let's dive into the actions that actually happened and why I feel VAR was the worst man of the weekend. Let's start off with the Manchester United Arsenal game, because that was big. The referee decides that it is a soft challenge on Christian Eriksen by Martin Odegaard. Waves play on. Arsenal get the ball. It's a transition. It's a transition circumstance. It's a transition, and Arsenal score from the counter attack. It's a soft challenge. We have seen them given day in, day out. In the match, in the Leicester City game against against Brighton on Sunday yesterday. Again, Yuri Tillemans, before Leicester City score, Yuri Tillemans literally just nods a Brighton player off the ball, and then Leicester score, and that goal is given. Where is the consistency? Where is the consistency of VAR? Because they have already said you have underground checks going on, checks that literally do not need the ball to be stopped or play to be interrupted with. They're always going on. Where is the consistency here? Where is the consistency of this is a soft foul, this is a ridiculous foul, and this is a red card foul? Where is the consistency? I'm asking myself all these questions, and no one can even answer. So, first and foremost, Odegaard goes in on Eriksen. Referee says it's a soft challenge. Waves play on. He doesn't wave advantage. He waves play on because Arsenal have got the ball. And that shows you that the referee has looked, because he wasn't far away. He wasn't far away. I think it should also be included that VAR only interfere if the referee is so far away from the point of action. Because the referee is not so far away, he's actually near there. He looks at it. There is no harm done, and then he goes, "Okay, carry on." He doesn't even give an advantage to Man United because they don't have the ball. And then when Arsenal score, VAR comes in. It is not a clear and obvious error, because if it was, the distance that the referee was in, United were in transition, that ball, it's a free kick. But the referee doesn't deem it as a free kick because he's there, he's watching. And I don't understand why referees are being sent to the screens, because there is no decision that VAR has decided, and the referee goes to the screen and he overturns it. So literally, the VAR has more power than the referee. I don't know why they got to the fucking screens. I don't understand why they got to the fucking screens. Because when he goes to the screen, he's definitely going to agree with VAR. They're telling him, I think the screen is not helping the referee, to get a better judgment. The screen is there to justify to the referee about what VAR has decided. So they tell him, go to the screen. This is why we think it is a foul. This is why I think a goal doesn't stand. And for me, it is absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. A soft foul like that to be pulled back, to take 3 minutes being pulled back just to disallow the goal is fucking shambles. It's a fucking shambles. And I don't understand how VAR is even called into action there. It is not clear and obvious an error. It is not. So that one, I don't understand. That I cannot explain. Arsenal fans, United fans, you might agree with me, you might disagree with me, but that I don't understand. Let's go to incident 2. Chelsea, West Ham. It's a London derby. It's a game running at high speed, running at high intensity. Chelsea survived nearly. I think it was again Maxwell Cornet. Gets the ball, his first touch on the pitch, and hits the post, denied by the post. Then on the other side, just in a quick transition, Chelsea score. Within seconds, Chelsea make an error and West Ham score. Now this is what happened. Jared Bowen is through on goal. He realizes that he cannot get to the ball earlier than Eddie Mendy. So Jared Bowen decides he will jump over Mendy to save, just for security. I think, in my opinion, that is an act of sportsmanship. He doesn't fight for the ball. He jumps over to save, Mendy from injury, from hurting Mendy. He jumps over Mendy. As he jumps over, Mendy has come fully into action, and Mendy clatters into Jared Bowen. Actually, in my opinion, listen, if Jared Bowen scoops the ball over Mendy and Mendy gets contact, it's a fucking penalty. It's a penalty. And VAR says Mendy was hurt by a jumping Jared Bowen, and that is why he doesn't get the ball. It's a fucking shambles, because if you look at that scenario very well, Eduardo Mendy punches the ball. It's very ridiculous goalkeeping. It's very ridiculous goalkeeping. And we know he has 2 mistakes in him per 90. He has a mistake in him every 45 minutes, Eduardo Mendy. So he comes in. He's come to collect the ball. I think he realizes that he is in an awkward situation. He cannot collect it well. He just spills it. He spills the ball before Jared Bowen gets contact with him. How is that affecting what is happening on the pitch? How is that a foul? He's jumping over Eduardo Mendy. And when we go to VAR, this is where I'm expecting, okay, this is the good side of VAR, no foul here. And the fucking Chambers decided, I feel for West Ham fans. I honestly feel for West Ham fans, because that is absolute robbery, not highway robbery, because with highway robbery, you need a lot of planning. This is a robbery with the shambles. I don't understand where the decision that Jared Bowen hurts or injures or creates or commits a foul on Eduardo Mendy comes from. And when the contact happens with Eduardo Mendy, Mendy screams down on the ground because he knows he's made a mistake. And they're fooled by Eduardo Mendy. He knows he's made a mistake, right? So he goes to ground and then he rolls over. There is nothing. The contact that happened is so minimal that even if both players, clattered into each other, nothing would have been given. Nothing. It was just a collision. There is nothing like, intention. And I think even the contact there is creates no impact on Eduardo Mendy. VAR, again, another shambles. Another absolute shambles. But let's go to the real game. right? Let's get to the real game. Newcastle Crystal Palace. That is where I thought you have actually done your worst. Willock, I think, a cross comes into the penalty area. I don't remember if it's a corner or just a cross. And then Joe Willock is flying in to meet the header, right? Tyreek Mitchell is behind Joe Willock and pushes Joe Willock into Vicente Guita, right? And as Willock is pushed into Guita, the ball ricochets off Tyreek Mitchell, who commits a foul in the initial place, and the goal goes into the back of the net, right? Listen, when you are offside and you get into the penalty area and then a defender slashes you down, that is not given a penalty. It is pulled back to the initial foul, to the initial illegitimate act, which is you're offside. We know that. So you cannot get a penalty from an offside position. This is the same consistency we are fucking talking about here. If he's offside, if Willock is offside and he scores, the goal doesn't stand, right? It doesn't stand. If Willock is offside and Mitchell pushes him in the back, the free kick goes the other way. It's not a penalty. In this instance, Crystal Palace get a free kick because, Willock clatters into Vicente Guita, but Newcastle get nothing. Newcastle absolutely get nothing for their player being pushed into the penalty area. I thought that was clear and obvious, first and foremost. So VAR has to be involved. I thought that was a clear goal scoring opportunity, and which actually led into a goal. So VAR still has to be very much involved. For me, Mitchell gets even a red card because he's denying a clear goal scoring opportunity. He gets a red card. And somehow, I'm looking at these shambles, VAR and Newcastle get nothing. I'm like, okay, why is Joe Willock not getting a penalty there? Why is Joe Willock appealing and his appeals are not listened to? Because look, he's literally going to meet the ball, and there is 99% a chance he will meet it, and there is around 45% or 47% a chance that he's gonna hit the back of the net. Why doesn't he get a penalty? Why is the goal ruled out? And if it's ruled out because of the secondary foul, how about the primary? Pull it back. It's something I didn't understand there. It's really something I don't understand. I really doubt whether these people operating VAR, however many and big on big screens there, I really doubt they understand the game. And finally, let's talk about Manchester City, Aston Villa. Now, the ball is swung into the box, and it meets Coutinho. Coutinho is clearly onside. Okay, let's say the linesman feels Coutinho is offside, right? But then Coutinho is gonna take a shot. Wait until Coutinho takes the shot. It goes above the post. It's saved by the goalkeeper. It goes into the back of the net, and then raise your flag. Coutinho is onside. It happens so. Takes a brilliant shot, hits the back of the net, and somehow that goal will not stand because, again, another shambles of refereeing. Another ridiculous disaster of refereeing. I just don't understand the level of officiation in the Premier League. It is so weak. It is very, very weak. I've just seen on Sky that the Premier League is looking into the incidents of VAR in the Chelsea game and in the Newcastle game. You want to spend more money to you don't need to investigate that. They want to spend more money trying to justify, okay, here we were wrong, but this is the reason as to why we gave it anyway. come out, the Premier League, the refereeing association should come out and first and foremost apologize to these clubs. Because the Premier League, clubs invest a lot of money. You just cannot play around like that. Clubs, invest a lot of money. And then the standards need to change abruptly. Whoever is sponsoring the Premier League, whoever is has anything to do with the Premier League, the standards of refereeing in the league have to raise drastically. And now, you literally cannot tell me that we have the best league in the world. We watch the best in the league in the world with the biggest prices on tickets, with the biggest prices on jerseys, and then somehow we watch the worst degree of refereeing. Now, personally, I'm very, very lucky because I watch a lot of football. Was watching the Italian Serie A yesterday. Was watching the Spanish La Liga as well yesterday, throughout the weekend, of course. And the level of refereeing in those leagues is absolutely top notch. VAR, you might think they don't even have VAR, but for us, if it's a throw in the Premier League, there is VAR. If someone has just said something that to the referee, there is VAR. VAR is supposed to come in clear and obvious situations, goal scoring opportunities, and things like that. Just that. It just takes the sting out of the game. It just takes the excitement out of the game. Players do celebrate the emotion, and then a few moments later, the goal is ruled out. It's fucking shambles. It's a fucking shambles. And I'm not really sure why this is happening in the Premier League alone. Okay, among all I don't want the German Bundesliga. Honestly, I've stopped watching the German Bundesliga a long time ago. I will start watching the Bundesliga again very soon. But I'm watching the Italian Serie A and the Spanish La Liga now. The French Ligue A, I've taken some time. But I will tell you this, guys. If you go back and you rewatch football in those leagues, you will understand the organization. You will understand the level of refereeing. And no Englishmen will actually accept this because they will always say the Premier League is the better league. But honestly, officiating in the Italian Serie A is class. Officiating in the Spanish La Liga is class. It is shit in the Premier League. It is unbelievable in the Premier League. It is nowhere near good enough in the Premier League. It is so corrupt. Because you cannot tell me you have a very bad day in office on Saturday and have another bad day in office on Sunday. This is instigated. For me, investigating VAR should not be on the grounds of do they understand what they're doing. It should be on the grounds of who are the fuck are these men? Who the fuck are they? These guys are so corrupt, in my opinion. They're very, very corrupt. And that is what, when you have so many hands, in a footballing decision on the pitch, it will get corrupt somehow. It will get corrupt somehow. I mean, dealing with corruption in referees, that could be easy. That is not easy as well, but that could be easy. But dealing with corruption in the VAR room, that is never gonna get, it's never gonna come easy. They will give offsides that you feel are not offsides, right? They will give, penalties that should not stand. And for me, just scrap it off. Just get rid of the rubbish. Just get rid of the rubbish. 90 more. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. And subscribe to us on YouTube as well. Spotify coming up very, very soon as well on your menu.